This time on Finnegan's Garage, we're back at the Bristol 1000, and guess what? I finished on the lead lap. I don't know, like 8th place. We'll have to check. I'm not sure, but didn't wreck this time. Only hit the wall 3 times, only lost 2 tires. God, that was fun. I need a beer. Let's go. Under the truck right now. Oh, that's a nice transmission. That's a nice bell housing. That's a nice motor. Question is why do we not have a clutch right now? Well, actually, I'm not even sure that we don't have a clutch. What's going on is you step on the clutch pedal and it feels like the clutch is there, and you can put this thing in gear. And when you let the clutch out, nothing happens. For a short, brief amount of time, I'd say about 2 minutes, the clutch felt like it was just completely worn out, which isn't possible given what it was put through. And we finished a roadkill episode with this thing. Everything was fine. It went on a transport truck, got sent back here to Georgia, came off the transport truck. I jumped in it, drove it right into my warehouse. Everything seemed fine. I drove it, I don't know, 50 feet. And it was like there was nothing at all. If you revved the motor, it wouldn't move. If you didn't rev the motor, it would idle a little bit and kind of move. And then a few minutes of that, and then there was nothing. Absolutely nothing. So we need to figure out what is going on. My hope is that when we loosen all these bolts here, just a bunch of fluid comes out, because maybe we have a leak at our bearing. But I don't know.
What do you think? Do you see in there?
Yeah, there's a hole. I think if you go up there and step on the pedal,
try and see if that throwout bearing's moving.
I can see what's going on. Yep, that moved. That came out. All right, the throwout bearing's moving.
Well.
All right, let me have a couple of 9/16 apparatuses, because I'll break these bolts loose, and if a bunch of fluid comes out, that would explain the excessive slippage. If no fluid comes out, then, dude, I don't know. Either there's something seriously wrong with the clutch or the trans. If there was fluid in there, it would have come out by now. Well, as much as I don't want to do it, I think we're going to take the trans and the bell housing off. Here's where we're at. We crawled under the truck after jacking it up. We have verified the throwout bearing is functioning. It is moving. But we still have no wheel spin in the back, like no drive. So what we're going to do now is jack up both control arms in the back, because it's independent rear suspension. And once we jack them up and get them fairly level, then the half shafts won't be in a bind, which they are right now. It won't even want to move because they're just all drooped down and everything's bound up. You know, CV joints have more range of motion than a typical U joint, but even them bind up at some point, and that rear suspension has way more travel than the CV joints actually want. So we're going to jack it up there, and then we're going to fire the truck up, put it in gear, and look at the drive shaft and see, is it moving at all? If it's not, then we know we've got a problem with the clutch and or the trans. And then it will be coming apart. I mean, it's got to come apart, but I'd like to see this, you know, just in case. stall it without touching the clutch. Cross your fingers.
I have my legs crossed, my arms crossed.
Everything.
Fingers.
Cross it all. Just lost it. It's gone.
It just quit?
Got nothing. That's clutch all the way out.
That's all the way out?
Yeah, now my foot's on the brake with it in reverse.
Your foot's on the brake?
Yeah, it's in reverse, my foot's on the brake. That's weird.
I can hear something in there. You hear that?
Yeah, there's a noise too.
Yeah.
Why does it work 1 minute and then it doesn't work the next?
Something's off.
I don't want to take the trans out, but
We're going to have to.
let's bleed.
Bleed the master?
Let's bleed the master.
Okay.
Because that could be it. And this is fun because it's in here.
Great place for it.
Yeah.
Nice and accessible.
It's great.
Down. Close.
All right. Go for it there, home slice.
Okay. I think it's out. Am I missing a nut or a bolt somewhere? Sure, it feels like it, but I can't see up top.
Oh, you're gonna want to snip.
There is one right there.
And you're gonna want to snip that zip tie for the bleed line.
Oh, okay.
You can't bleed. If you could just stop bumping your head into the camera, the folks at home.
Okay, no problem.
The folks at home would appreciate it.
Sorry.
Oh, you know what? I think that top one might have gone through here through the duct tape too.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. I think. I was sitting here going, how did I get these before? I think this is how.
Oh, look at that's even kind of dented there.
Yeah, I think I might have gone right through there.
Oh, I see it now. Oh, it fell off. I don't know if going through that hole will work or not.
Alright, so as you can see, we had to put a hole right there so that we could get a socket to get on the last bell housing bolt. But it is out, and that means the bell housing should come off. There we go. Boom.
Looks good. There we go. Voila. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Wow. That's interesting.
Let me grab measuring devices. Can you sweep up all the metal shavings? Might need the impact for this. I don't know if this will do it. Oh yeah, it will. We'll just leave it all in order.
Okay.
That one's been chattering.
God, look at how little this one contacted.
It's blue. Wow. Yeah, that wore pretty damn unevenly. It is unhappy. Like there's plenty of material there, but it's not
Not grabbing, it's weird.
yeah, look, like that's completely bare right there.
Yeah, untouched.
So what I'm seeing is it's pretty unhappy. It's not applying pressure evenly. But more specifically, you get to the disc closest to the engine. So there's the flywheel side, right? But watch the other side of this. Look at that. There's just like a groove right there. You get towards the outside of it. It's not even applying it. It's so weird. But yeah, this thing's unhappy. I don't see any smoking gun other than like it's just not applying even pressure, and it's just really unhappy. And this one was using more of the material, but still not the outside edge of the material. So it's maybe using half of it. This is the pressure plate side, and then look at that, just like skipping. Doot, 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 doot. So yeah, I think our bearing's working fine. I think I don't know what caused this, but we need some parts and pieces, my friend, as soon as we can get them. Everybody, I think I know what the problem was. Here is our old tilt and throw out bearing, and I think what was going on is we were over traveling this, and when we over traveled it, it got cockeyed in the bore, and then it didn't want to return, and so that's why our clutch didn't seem to want to grab. Essentially, it was stuck out, and so the clutch was essentially disengaged, and it wouldn't return to engage the clutch. So what I've got now is a new tilt-in bearing. This came from the guys at 6XD. This one is taller, and it won't require as many shims behind it, and then we're gonna adjust our pedal stop so that this only comes out just a little bit, just enough to activate the clutch, but not so far that I can get cockeyed in the bore and not return. And I think we're good to go after that. Freshy. Getting ready for LS Fest. We have to break this in before we go. We got plenty of time though.
I mean, I can take the
C10 is gonna be ready.
Let's go test out our new clutch.
LSFest, we're gonna take the C10, and somehow between the roadkill shoot and transporting this truck home, the throwout bearing just got over-traveled, cocked in the bore, and wouldn't retract. The clutch was fine, but the bearing was cockeyed, and so it felt like you had no clutch, but you could put the trans in gear. It was very weird. So yesterday, Joe and I replaced the throwout bearing with a different one from Tilton. Shout out to the guys at 6XD because they overnighted a bearing to me. We had to take the clutch out anyway, so we finally resurfaced the flywheel that we never had resurfaced after we blew up the first clutch of this thing. And so now it's all back together, and dude, it's so smooth. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's very happy. Let me think this through.
So you want to make it pretty. You're going to put the front roll pan on it, and you have thoughts of going to do burnout contests at Cletus this weekend.
I mean, I have to drive the car, right? Like, we put a new clutch in it. We're going to go to LS Fest and autocross it. I can't just go out there and whoop on it with my new clutch. I promised Jeff I wouldn't. I promised him I would drive it before I went to LS Fest. LS Fest is next weekend. Cletus and Cars is this weekend. We could just drive the C10 to Cletus and Cars. And once there, maybe we enter the burnout contest. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to road trip the C10 there. And, you know, we're going to enter the Bristol 1000 for sure. Not in the C10. It's a Crown Vic race. But whether we do the burnout contest or not, I don't know. That'll be a game day decision based on what I see. Like, I'm usually not into sanctioned burnout contests. They're just, it's not my thing. I like keep it in the streets, you know, so I can get banned for life from various locations that I probably don't deserve to be banned for life from, but that I am now because of, well, burnouts. And we can't go there ugly, so I got a roll pan. It's from Brothers Trucks, and I know it fits good because I test fit it already, which is remarkable. It just needs a little trimming right here to get around a factory bump in the grill. So we're gonna trim that right now and then go over there and figure out a way to fix it. Because all I give you is this and this. And that are not gonna hold this thing up in the air. It's just not. So I'm guessing we need to put some holes here and maybe pick up all the factory bolt holes. Brothers Trucks, if you could just start putting those holes in there, great. You know, that would be awesome. I'd appreciate you. But you didn't, so I will. Yes, okay. This is pretty thick stuff. I hope my tin snips even go through it. They might not. Oh yeah, I mean they're going to. It's not going to be what you would consider fun. Close-ups, close-ups.
I'm watching the struggle on your face though.
Give the people what they want. They don't want to see my face. I don't want to see my face.
Beautiful.
It's gonna need some trimming, some buffing. Let me get ye old buffing wheel. Okay. A little hammer and dolly action to flatten that out, and then it's there. Oh, dude. Kindig's gonna call me any minute now. He's gonna be like, dude, saw that work you did on the C10, bro. Shave the beard, get the goatee, and come work for me. Boom.
Oh, look at that.
Much happier. The fun part is going to be finding all of these factory holes so that we can actually bolt this thing on. What we could do is take a Sharpie and just mark the line where the hole is, hold this up, then mark this, measure the distance back, and then we're there. Right now, Joe is punching the roll pan for holes. We just put a bunch of half moons in to clear the portions of the truck where this thing interferes, I guess, for lack of a better term. And then we're going to use the stock fasteners that go upwards into the grill shell to mount this to it. And we need to mark those holes. So Joe's punching the marks right now. We're going to drill them oversized because it's difficult to get an accurate measurement of where they belong. And there's a couple ways you could do that. This is a great way for drilling through sheet metal. This is called a step bit. Lots of people make these. My favorites are Milwaukee and DeWalt. The spiral flute design works really well. And the other way you can do this is to use what's called a rotobroach. This is from the Blair Tool Company. Excellent tools for putting holes in sheet metal where you don't want to distort the sheet metal. Like a regular drill bit will sometimes distort the sheet metal and make it not flat. This is designed to not do that. So we can use this.
I like those.
Or this. Oh, cool. All right, well, you get to drill then.
Okay.
Here you go.
Ooh. Did the center bit tick off on me?
I was looking at the camera. I wasn't totally watching.
Yeah, what is that all about? I think I'm like... All right.
It's not supposed to do that.
No.
Are you not going flat to it? Perhaps that's the problem. Yeah, you're kind of going it. So like this is like this, but you're not perpendicular to it. You're still not.
Nope.
Why don't we drill a pilot hole like that? This should work great. This should absolutely look great. But yeah. I think you're, because you're having to hold it with one hand, and let me hold the roll pan. I think you're coming in at an angle and it's skipping off.
We get a little pilot hole.
Well, now it's spring loaded, so this isn't supposed to drill. This is supposed to hold it until that hits the metal.
Is this big enough for a pilot?
Yeah, that's actually bigger than you need. See how this is, let me show the people at home. This is spring loaded. So what was happening is Joe's, because he was having to hold the part while drill it, he was kind of coming at an angle, and then this was skipping out. Ideally, these go straight down, and then boom. It was also turning backwards.
Turning backwards?
Yeah. I just flipped it to forward. You had it go in the wrong direction. That might be part of the problem. I just flipped it around and it's good now. It was going like this when I hit the button.
Oh, that's weird.
It's early. I understand. It's an early day. You know, lots going on. People at home, you shouldn't have to do this, but we're going to do this. You still have to go, yeah, still make sure you're perpendicular. On the road again. The steering wheel's crooked. Just fix it. Fixed. So we're going on this road trip to go see Cletus McFarland. I'm racing on Sunday in the Bristol 1000. That's tomorrow. I don't really need to bring the truck, except I want to break the clutch in because the following weekend I'm driving to Bowling Green, Kentucky to go to LS Fest, an event that I haven't been to in probably 10 years. I went to the very first one, and then I haven't been back since. And I'd like to run this around autocross, but the clutch is brand new. So I figured I'll drive it to Bristol, Tennessee for the Bristol 1000, break the clutch in, make some memories, find out what's wrong with this thing, if there's anything wrong, and then we're out of here. And so to recap, we put a front roll pan on it just to make the front end of the truck look a little better. We added an external transmission cooler for our 6XD manual gearbox. We can do that because this thing has a built-in gear oil pump that sprays gear oil all over the gears in this thing. So all we did was take the external hose that's going from the case to the pump and then send it into a derail transcooler that we mounted up front behind the roll pan. And you could probably get away with driving this thing without it, but the trans gets warm. You can feel it in the truck. So I mostly did it for comfort. I'm trying to get some of the heat out of the cab. Right now, Joe is chasing me in the roadkill ramp truck, just in case something goes wrong, because I actually do need to get to this event because I get to race in it. And for those of you that recall, last year, I'll have to double check the figures, but I'm pretty sure I only went 13 laps before running into Boosted Boy Kyle, who was parked in the middle of the racetrack because he got caught up in a wreck that was in front of all of us. And so my goal for this year in the Bristol 1000 is to make it more than 13 laps. Goal number 2 is to finish the entire race. And goal number 3 is to kill everyone there and not literally, but just smoke them. Win. I'd like to win the whole race. That would be cool. Having said that, the Bristol 1000 was my first paved oval track race ever. I have zero experience. And it's always fun when you get a bunch of YouTubers on a track along with some professionals and some not quite professionals, because you have all these varying levels of skill. And when you go into a corner and you're willing to go deeper into a corner without lifting than the guy in front of you and you don't know what he's going to do, it's never boring. It does result in some wrecks though. I got the AC charged in this thing. We put vintage air in it yesterday, got the air conditioning charged. Might not even need it. It's like 78 degrees in Georgia right now. It's beautiful. Beautiful. The LT4 runs great, except right there is a little hiccup in the tune. And I haven't plugged into it to data log it to find out what it's doing, but all of a sudden right there, it just burps on its own. It's a weird deal. So far so good. The trans doesn't seem as warm as it was. Before, when you drove this, the stick would get hot. I can feel a little heat in the base of it, but further up, we're cool. So I think our external transmission cooler is doing its thing. When we get back, I'd like to open up a slot in the front of the front roll pan to allow more air to get to that trans cooler, because it's basically just sitting back there at an angle, getting some of the air that's coming under the roll pan. It's not terribly efficient, but we can fix that later.
It's okay. We blend in, no problem. It's all good.
I never knew I could love a beaver so much.
How's your seats in the truck? Do you need some more cushion? Want a Bucky seat cushion?
I'm getting this.
Barbecuing, because God knows everybody wants to pull over on the side of the road and barbecue. Hey look, I found an ice chest to go with your brother's unicorn beer. We've got race jugs.
Oh, the good ones.
Yeah. You can put fuel, you can put diesel, you can put water, moonshine.
Moonshine.
And here is the heaven part of Bucky's. Beef jerky. And then you have the beef jerky bar.
Honey.
Yeah, I mean, look at, you've got gas pumps that way. You have gas pumps that way. You have gas pumps over here, all the way down to there.
That's why
This place is insane.
That's why I don't feel bad about blocking the pump and going inside.
No, there's plenty of them. Bucky's!
I know I said I wouldn't get on it on the highway,
You did.
but then I thought of Bucky's and it just made me want to drive faster.
And you passed some really pretty blue lights on your right and then went, ah!
Yeah, but I was past him before I did that.
Yeah,
I was past him. That's the key.
right.
All
But
right.
I'm telling you, he still heard you way back there.
He might have. He probably appreciated it. I'm gonna top off and see how bad the fuel economy was. Okay, we didn't go very far. I don't know how far we went, but we didn't go very far. Half a gallon. Wait, how far?
18 miles.
18? Got a little over 9 miles per gallon. Hungry, but dude, look at that. That was good. Oh, this is so good. Want some jerky?
Yeah.
All right, now Joe's making some mods. Tidying up our trans tunnel here, keep the heat out. The air conditioning rules. It totally works. My big issue right now is the driving position. The distance between the seat and the pedals is too short for my long legs. And so I'm sitting in there like this. I sit like this with my knees kind of out, and I really need those pedals to go further back. I can't move the seat back unless I cut the harness bar out. I don't necessarily want to cut the harness bar out because, well, I need that to go around the autocross next weekend. So I think what we're going to do right now is let Joe drive because he's shorter than me. He fits in here better. And then when we get home from Cletus and Cars, we'll look into moving the lower part of the firewall and the pedal assembly further back, which is going to be pretty major surgery, but I'm 6'1", it has to be done. It's a standard cab truck. I just don't fit in here very well. So
3 inches, really?
3 inches would do it.
Well, that's the difference between me and you.
Oh.
Alright, so I get my chance to drive the C10. Mike gives it to me. Leave the gas station. Everything's running great. Get on the freeway on-ramp. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. And what do you know? I got no more clutch pedal. Like I hit the clutch, it goes to the floor, I have nothing. So now, I'm currently in 6th gear. We're still heading down the highway, heading to Bristol. We'll take it as far as we can, I guess. But, yeah, something weird just happened. Everything's working fine, and all of a sudden, nothing. So, we'll see. Almost feels like it lost its lead. And there's some more hydraulic pressure. So, we'll check it out when we get to the next stop. Other than that, I'm going to motor on. We've gone about 100 miles, and I'm about to get off here and try and stop this thing without a clutch in it.
Well, this ought to be interesting. Joe just radioed me and said he's got no clutch pedal. which can only mean a couple of things. Either we're having a problem again with our throwout bearing, or we've got a leak and he's lost all the hydraulic fluid. Nothing would surprise me at this point. Stop nice and smooth.
Parking brake engage.
That was weird. It came to a stop, no problem. I thought it didn't have a clutch.
I don't.
So what, did you just put it in neutral?
Downshift, and then into neutral.
Downshift without the clutch?
Yes.
You can do that with that transmission.
Let's put the gas pedal.
Lift it back up and see if there's any leaks out of the bell housing. Up we go.
Here with my foot on the brakes.
I don't see any drips. We could pull the gauge cluster out.
Like no pedal whatsoever.
We could pull the gauge cluster out, and that would tell us for sure, because then we could see the fluid level. Ruh-roh, we got a leak. Not here, it's down there. It's got to be one of the fittings going to the throwout bearing, which sucks, because that means the bell housing's full of fluid and needs to be cleaned out. And damn it! I'm really not excited about hydraulic throwout bearings today. Most days they're great, but you can't access the fittings without pulling the trans out the back of the bell housing, which is just stupid, but that's how it is. C10's got a problem with the throwout bearing, and we could just ignore it and put it on the back of the ramp truck because we have it here, but we're gonna try to fix it. I mean, we're only like 40 miles from the Speedway, so I'd like to fix it and complete the journey if we can. You move that one.
Let me loosen up.
Ever just move that out of the way? You don't have to loosen it. So this is the lazy part. Neither of us wants to push it up this hill to get it behind the ramp truck to pull it up on the ramps, and so Joe's going to try to put it in reverse and fire it up. This is a bad idea, and to be clear, it was my idea. Hey, I noticed that if you hit it a bunch of times, it would pump a little bit. It also squirts all the fluid out. Maybe not. Go ahead. All right, let's just push it. You're gonna throw it in first and goose it, and then shut it off, and I'll stop it from rolling down.
You're insane.
Or we back it up and just get a running start at it, push it.
I like that idea better.
Let's do that. All right, you ready? Brakes! Perfect. Oh my God, it smells like piss down here so bad. Half the truck drivers in America have stopped here and peed in this rest stop. We're like 37 miles from Bristol Motor Speedway, where in less than an hour, the burnout contest is starting. I'd really like to go there and see that. and we lost our clutch. To be clear, the clutch is fine. The throwout bearing is not doing anything because we have a massive leak in the bell housing. And the massive leak happens one of two ways with a hydraulic throwout bearing. Either your pressure line that comes from your clutch pedal master cylinder is not tight, or you over travel the bearing, spit the O-ring out, and then the bearing itself leaks. I don't know which it is. I put a wrench on the fitting for the line. I turned it a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think that did it. But I am gonna break these bell housing bolts loose and try to get whatever fluid is in there out of there, hose it down with some brake clean, top off the master cylinder again, and hit the road, because when you're 37 miles away from your destination, you shouldn't quit. That's how I feel anyway. Can you grab a can of brake clean out of one of the compartments over there and then just shoot it in the side of the bell housing? I don't want it to get on the clutch. You know what I'm saying? Then we will once again pull our gauge cluster out, fill our master cylinder, which is behind our gauge cluster. I know, that's silly. And then bleed it and hit the road again. Okay, there's that. Oh!
All right down there?
It's funky.
It's funky? It's better than piss.
It's very funky. It definitely smells better than piss. Stroke the pedal again.
Okay. Now.
Whoa, okay, hold on.
Huh?
Stop. It's leaking again. I don't even know if you guys can see this at home, but our problem, see the fluid right there? It's coming off of this hose. And I think it's because the hose connection might not be tight on the throwout bearing. I'm not sure, but that's what I think. And of course, it's a pain in the butt to access, because this is all the room you get to access anything. So that hose right there, it's wet. Oh, I think we got a hole in our hose.
A hole in our hose?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's been hitting the clutch. All right, well, we're not fixing that here, so we'll load it onto the truck.
Okay.
So glad I bought the ramp truck. So glad I brought the ramp truck. This will be the end of the journey for the C10. A hose failed. The bleed line for the clutch throwout bearing is leaking. Not at the connection, that's tight. The hose itself is leaking, and it's filling the bell housing with fluid, which means the throwout bearing doesn't work. And it's not the end of the world. We're 36 miles from where the Bristol 1000 is being held, so we'll load it on the ramp truck, go party our butts off, win the race, go home. Next week, we'll replace that line. The bummer about having to fix that line is that you have to take the transmission out of the car to do it. So I'm definitely gonna be looking at alternative ways to seal up that bell housing. I think I'm gonna cut a bigger window in it and then make a plate that bolts on to cover it, so that when you have these kinds of problems, you don't have to take the trans out. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, next stop, Bristol. Yep. See you in Bristol, everybody. We're gonna be late. It only took 2 vehicles, but we made it. Bristol, baby, Bristol. We made it. Oh, I hear mayhem and the music of my people. We have made it. Let's go inside.
What's up, folks?
That you guys are going to see here at Bristol Motor Speedway here at the great Coliseum. Fans in Bristol, are you ready? I'm going to need a big yeah, hell yeah, brother on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Just look at it, would you? Look at it. Legends have raced here. Tony Stewart, David Pearson, Junior Johnson, Richard Petty, Jeff Gordon, the Allison family, I mean, Cale Yarborough, and then there's us, a bunch of YouTubers, action sports athletes. We got a monster truck driver, Ryan Anderson's here. And my goal for the Bristol 1000 this year is to go more than 16 laps. I did the math, I went back and watched last year's video. Lap 16 is when right here, several YouTubers ended up at the top end of the track in the wall. And I won't say who started it because he's a friend that everybody knows. I don't want to cap on him because I like him. But I came off that corner to find the track littered with cars. One of them slowed down right in front of me faster than I could stop, and I punched Kyle, Boosted Boy, and took him out of the race, me out of the race. Like, my car was totaled. It broke the engine block in half. Like, it was bad.
So much racing. Keep in mind, 80-ish laps of fuel are in the tank. How are they going to fill it up? Where are they going to pit? And how? What? Because also, there's only so... They don't have allocated pit crews. They have the crew.
There you go, Kevin Smith, KSR. Can he make a pass coming out of turn 2? Not today. Haley Deegan's still about half a car in front of Nick Seuss.
Haley Deegan, her racecraft right now is keeping her very central. Ooh, we're already seeing a car overheat. That's Jack Stand Jimmy. That's not a good sign of smoke. Last night he smoked it up.
Oh, look at that. Nick Seuss about to get spun out, but Kevin, hard contact out of turn 2.
Our current leaders.
Oh, wow.
The wall. We are.
Oh, wow. Lots of carnage here.
Boy.
My Lord.
And I was sore for a few days, but no major injuries. So we're back, and we've gotten here early enough where I can get fitted into my car, which, gotta be honest, way better than the last car. And I don't mean it's a better Crown Vic. I mean, Cletus has gone above and beyond to make sure we're safer this time. We have an actual containment seat. We have an actual roll cage. The window net is no longer tech screwed into the frame of the door. This is gonna be good. And we got here early enough to watch my new favorite person install nitrous into the trunk of every one of these cars. So if you look on the back of the Crown Vic here, this one's mine, there's an orange light. And whenever you see that orange light light up, that means I'm on the button. I never used it once last year. I was saving it for the end of the race, which I never even saw. That's not true. I saw the end of the race, but it was from the infield with a beer in my hand, hanging out with Spicy Spence. So today's goal is go more than 16 laps, try to finish the race if I can. That would be awesome. Race hasn't even started yet. I'm already having a good day. Look who it is, Dennis Anderson. I grew up watching you in Gravedigger. I couldn't be more happy that you and Ryan are here. I don't even know, I shouldn't even ask this question because it's not gonna be good for you. But Ryan Anderson or me on Bristol, who's winning?
I've got to say that, you know, my money is in the hat for my son, but I didn't know how good you were until after you done an episode with me with King Sling and the mud truck,
And I flipped mine on the roof.
Yeah, and you almost cried like a little baby.
That never happened. Go to the video. That never. I asked for Advil. It did not happen.
Well, we call that crying like a little baby. But then it was like, when I started watching you guys, like, I mean, just religiously, and I never knew how, you know, how brilliant you were, how many journeys you had been on, and that was how you had all the common sense and common mechanical knowledge that you have, and driving. So when you're out here on the track in Bristol, just don't pit maneuver my son. That's all I ask.
Oh, that's fair. That's totally fair. I've watched your son drive for years. I've watched you drive for decades. Obviously, Gravedigger's pretty much my favorite monster truck. Well, not pretty much. It's the only one. Like, I started on Bigfoot.
Right.
But then when I met Gravedigger, I was like, oh, this guy's psycho. It's way faster than everything else out there. And so you became my favorite because you're a nut job. Ryan, I gotta be honest. If you just watch Ryan on Instagram, best driver I've ever seen in any motorsport. I mean, his ability to stand that truck up like this and just walk it on two wheels wherever he wants.
Right.
it's
I know it, man.
uncanny how good
know.
he is.
And it's like, and everybody, you know, like today we'll meet, you know, hundreds of fans out here, and they'll talk to me first, but then they really, you know, Ryan really is the best. And my younger son is here with me too, Weston.
Weston's psycho too.
Yeah, and those guys are so good because, you know, when I was doing it, you didn't have to have skill. I didn't even know anything about skill. I just had to have a truck that would stay together and guts to drive the thing in the ground each time. And that's what I did. Basically, I'd go out and drive the truck and hit these big, humongous ramps. And if it hit the ground and kept going, I was like, all right, awesome. I'd just keep driving until smoke was pouring out of the back, or I just grinded in the ground. Well, it didn't take much skill to do that. But now the kids, they're driving into the predicaments that I used to get in, that everybody thought I was good at driving out. I would just, when in doubt, throttle out, you know, and it would just save itself. And I go, God, that was good, you know.
I like to think that back in the day, they just carried your balls around in a wheelbarrow for you, you know, and just put you in the cab of the truck because the stuff you did was legendary. And Ryan, like you just said, Ryan will get all out of shape, or at least what we think is out of shape, and then he'll pirouette out of it and wheelie and endo and backflip and do all. I do think some of that translates to here, because I don't know if you know, but last year on lap 16, half the field was taken out in this corner right here.
No, I did not know.
Oh yeah, it was like a demo derby, not on purpose. It just happened.
Right.
Like I came off this corner, rear-ended. Well, the car that's parked next to me, Kyle's, rear-ended him because he pretty much wasn't moving, and totaled my Crown Vic. Like it broke the engine block in half. That's how gnarly it was. And so I feel like endurance, the ability to save yourself, is probably going to work well in Ryan's favor.
Well, I got to tell you, bomber races that we have in the same field that you crashed in and had to have Advil for.
Keep saying Advil and crash.
I
was first place runner-up.
Every time you were. Every time we have some, you know, old demo derby or bomber race, Ryan is in front of the pack there. So he's got the skill, he's got the throttle rhythm, he's got the wheel. But you're well experienced, man. I got to tell you, everything that you do on television now, I am like, you know how you used to be my fan?
Oh, still am.
Okay, well, I am that 5 times over now for you.
When you roosted me, I did not wash the mud off for. I think I woke up with it the next day. I gotta be honest. I went to dinner. I didn't realize at the time, but I went to dinner that night just caked, and I was like, whatever. That's Dennis Anderson mud in my eye.
Yeah, and everybody, man, everybody that there is not a weekend that goes by that you're not mentioned and us together in that episode.
Really?
I'm not kidding you, man.
So
it really got a lot of legs for me, you know, for just having you on the property. And that's why I said, if you ever come back, you're not staying in a hotel. You're going to stay at my house.
Deal. I'm bringing my kids, though. They're going to mess your house up.
I don't care. Bring them. I'll put them on a freaking monster truck and drive them through the woods.
Oh, they would love that.
Yeah.
They would love that.
All right, man. Good luck.
All right. Thanks, Dennis. Appreciate you.
All right. Good to see you.
Dude, my stickers are peeling the Jack Stand Jimmy paint job off the roof of my car. Hey, dude. Thank you for this. This is awesome.
Custom color, dude.
Dude, it looks great. It's almost too nice for me, I gotta be honest, you know?
Hey, gotta make it look good, you know?
Like, the stickers are only barely lifting it off. Just a little bit.
Paint, interior house paint.
Really? That's a secret?
Out of a spray gun. That's for a house.
I love it. I was telling Sam that this year I hope to actually get to push the button and not get, you know, not end up out of the race 16 laps in.
Full bottle, ready to go.
Yes. Yes.
And a better seat and a whole ball roll page.
Oh, I noticed as soon as I got in, I was like, okay, I feel much better about this. Like the window net is not tech screwed into the door frame.
Yeah, it's actually got a mount now.
Dude, it's classy now.
Moving on up, dude.
Oh, we're classy now.
Moving on up.
Let me just keep going with my expert vinyl application here. All right, my half is done. Here, I'll hold the camera. It's your turn. And let me just buff that out right there. I haven't seen Tony Angelo yet this morning. Drove from PA.
Yeah, what about the guy that drove the faux Monte Carlo all the way from Boston?
Yeah, I think I got a cop car. Maybe I got cop shocks. Here we go. Bristol 1000 qualifying starts right here, right now. I have no strategy. If I qualify dead last like I did last year, they could reverse the field and I end up front, which is great. If I try to qualify first, I could end up dead last. Either way, I feel like we're good. I love this track, and I love me some Crown Vics. I am following Kyle, Boosted Boy, which is the dude I ran into last year at the end of the big wreck. I got a check engine light, I got a tire light, I got a brake light, I got everything. I got all the lights. That was fun. I don't know how I did, but I kept up with Kyle, so that's good news. It had to have been faster than it was last year. At that pace, I think I can keep the car alive. I heard very little tire squealing. Woo! That was fun.
Back up a little bit, boss. You gotta put some room between you.
I'm just getting it out of the way. I just had to give Kyle a little love tap, get it out of the way before the race starts. Woo! That was fun.
How was that?
So fun.
Let me just tell you this. Through the down in back straights, they look kind of slow. Through the corners, they haul like butt, dude.
I love this track. It was so fun. I stayed with Kyle the whole time.
It's so fast.
I love this place.
How fast it is.
I absolutely love this place. Thank you for bringing me back.
Thank you for coming.
Dude, so rad. My only goal for today was don't qualify dead last again. But having said that, you're my spotter. You were supposed to tell me where I was like at. And I was like, well, he doesn't say I'm doing bad, so we'll just maintain this pace.
Looking good. Hammer down, hammer down. You didn't hear me?
I heard that.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't know, like.
Well, the problem was they sent you guys out.
Right.
And I thought, okay, they'll give them one little warm-up lap like they normally do. You get it up to speed, and then you do your qualifying.
Right.
No, they took you off, and I'm like, are they going right now?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
It's hard to tell because the car is so slow.
Yeah.
But in the car,
I didn't know if you guys were on the gas or not.
when you come down to the turn in the car, that right front tire is just howling. It lets you know, and the back of the car is bouncing.
Oh,
So you're going around the corner going, like, dude, it's legit. I know we're only going 80. But in the car, it is legit. We came in, I'm like, let me just get it out of the way, so I bumped you right here when I got in here. So I'm like, there, it's all out of the way. Start from zero.
I'm excited. My car feels good. How's yours feel?
It feels as good as a Crown Vic can, you know?
Yeah.
Underpowered, a little sketchy in the corners, but I feel totally safe in this car.
Yeah, a lot more cage, a lot more seat.
The new cage kind of sucks though, because it obscures the view out the windshield in the corner even more than what we had last time. So I went to the first corner and went, I can't see around this corner anymore, which is how I hit you.
Yeah, we just got this car done.
I saw that. What was wrong with the old one?
They put a new motor in it the night they were leaving.
Okay.
Didn't get to test it yet. They got it out here with the new motor, and the power steering went out, and the steering was all out of whack. They went through like 2 or 3 power steering pumps in it, a whole different rack and pinion. Power steering pump's still going out on it.
Oh, jeez.
So
now we're down to 3 backup cars.
So yeah, 4 because they're gonna give mine to somebody if it's.
What does it look like? I don't want that one.
It's a very colorful one that says Boosted Boys on it.
Okay, because
a lot of spray paint.
There are 10 of us who didn't race Indy. The 10 of us have access to the backup car. That was one of those things I didn't know about. So after I hit you and took us both out, I was just standing around picking the pieces of my car up off the track. I didn't even notice everybody running for the backup cars last year. So everybody else that got taken out, or most everybody else, I think got a car. I did not. But I got beer.
You got beer.
I got beer and Advil, which was fine. It was totally fine.
That's a good way to end the day.
It didn't suck. I sat out there in Spence's golf cart with him and just watched the race.
Good luck, man.
Good luck, dude.
Good luck today.
I'll stay away from you.
Stay off that rear bumper.
Yes, I'll stay away from you.
But I do love this guy. Let's hear it for Mike Finnegan. Come on. Dude, seriously, so happy to have you back. Last time, your day got ended at the 14 lap mark. Let's go for 15.
15's goal number 1, and then I'm here for the long haul this time. 80 laps.
80 laps, brother. That's all you got to do. You got any strategies? I mean, can you utilize any of your jet boating or anything like that to get you to the winner's circle today?
I'm going to stay away from Kevin and Kyle. That's my goal.
All right, they're here. He's going to stay away from Kevin. Give it up for Finnegan.
And we are ready to get the Bristol 1000 underway. We are green at Bristol.
Let's get it, boys.
Tail end of the field, Cletus McFarland locked in a battle with the 999 of Mike Finnegan.
Cletus is back there in the back like a woodpecker in a forest full of petrified trees, looking busy and looking for opportunity, you know? Holy lug nuts!
Oh
Got
boy!
a wreck.
Big trouble in turn 1 and 2, and this is a big one.
That's what she said.
Mike Finnegan's going to get 8th. Jack Stan, Jimmy 9th. And Kevin from KSR is going to round out the top 10. How about it, Bristol? What a race!
You got traction control off? He's got traction control, brother.
Hey, we finished.
Where's your car smoking inside?
Yeah, that car is really unhappy. That car is, ever since the first wreck, oh, thank you. I'll take all of this. I drank 6 of these. Yeah, ever since the first wreck, that thing's been so unhappy. After the first wreck on the restart, I floored it. There's just nothing there. So all day long, I'm on the wood, and people are just like, yep, whatever, bye, bye. So like, towards the end, I'm like, nitrous. And the nitrous helped a little bit, but the car is gutless. I had a hell of a time. Like, as soon as you told me, hey, we're at 50 or something, I was like, all right.
We were at 60, I think it said.
Dude, just happy to finish.
Finished?
That's not easy. We finished on the lead lap, and I don't think we were last. There was a guy behind
we
you,
were
right?
last. Yeah, there were several guys behind you.
Yes. People kept wrecking. I'd avoid it and inadvertently punt a tire. Like, I hit the left front, avoiding the first wreck. Then I hit the left rear. I was coming off the turn, and somebody was going by me. And I went boom, and hit them, and tacoed the left rear wheel. And, okay, whatever, we finished. Couldn't be happier. I hit the guy coming off the corner, and then the car was acting weird. So the next time I went around and I came off and I went to hug the wall, I went right into the wall, dude. And I ran down that wall. I don't know. That's probably me over there. Those straight marks are probably mine. Dude, I'll tell you what, Crown Vics, like, just on the wood. The whole time for what, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Every time I'd go around the track, there'd be like, oh, there's an AC line. Oh, there's a tail light. Like, it was like a minefield out there. It's a Crown Vic. I didn't swerve around any of it. I swerved around a lot of cars. It was wild, dude. Like, Steve Morris was in front of me for a while.
Yeah.
And about every other lap, all of a sudden, he'd just be like, hard on the brakes. I'm like, I need to get away from Steve Morris.
Yeah.
Everybody's car seemed to be faster than mine.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would pull me, we'd go into a corner and I'd be like ready to rail around him, but he'd just be out of shape. And I'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Stay away, stay away. At the end, like I was catching up. Because at the end, when no one was by me, then it was like, all right, go as fast as I possibly can. And I was faster. But like, once we got into a crowd, like everybody would just do crazy stuff. And I'd be like, I don't want to wreck. I don't want to wreck. So I just let them go. Go ahead. And they'd wreck each other. Like,
Who remembers Kevin's big crash from last year? All right. Kevin's sitting number 6 right now. Who thinks Kevin should stay number 6? Who thinks Kevin needs to go to the back of the pack? Oh, sorry, bud. Back of the pack for Kevin. So, unfortunately, because of your 10-car pileup, you've received a penalty from the fans. I mean, it wasn't me. The fans have given you a penalty. Give yourselves a round of applause.